Uh, all right, shalom, shalom,
Shalom, shalom.
All right, we GMS Louisiana Saints, Lafayette Camp. All right, coming back at you with another live lesson. But before we get started, all right, we're going to face the evil. We're just going to give all praise and honor to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakadash.
All right, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the Akim that's pushing its truth and sincerity to the four corners of the world.
Shalom, shalom.
All right, and we're going to get into, pretty much the current events. A lot's going on pertaining to prophecy and news. All right, and, we're coming in the spirit of prophecy, man. So we're going to bring out the scriptures. All right, get into some articles. And Lord willing, this video will be edifying.
That's right. It's the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them.
So the Lord says, remember the Creator in the days of thy youth, because that's whenever you're full of energy. That's whenever you can soak everything up, and be able to really fully push this truth, right? As you get older, you get tired. You may forget things, so forth and so on. So the Lord wants you at your best, to preach the gospel, man. All right, and while the evil days come not, man, for it to be beneficial to you,
That's right. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened.
So it says, the strong men shall bow themselves, and it says the grinding shall cease, all right, because they are few. It's going into the economic system crashing. It goes into, less jobs for people, and that's going to bring, a lot of uproars in the people, because they won't have the money, to pretty much pay for the foods or the necessities that they need for their everyday lives.
Hey, if I could just back the brother up, like, economy goes into what? Housekeeping. And we know that in order to maintain a house, all right, you have to have a good flow, you have to have good ventilation throughout that house. Unless you're going to be dealing with a house that has leaky pipes, all right, you look, the chandeliers fell and broken on the ground, all right, the door handle is off, and ultimately America is going to be made that burning house, but it's going to be burnt from the inside out, so to speak, because you got the prophets here in America, and we're devouring this place with the word of the Lord. All right, you got the economy crashing around us. You got job shortages. So it's many leaks in a boat that's going to be sank in the middle of a nuclear fire ocean, man. You got it, but that was it. Kai says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
That's right. So basically, there ain't gonna be any traffic, man. There ain't gonna be no, these trucks that come in and bring food and water, and medicines being shipped to these different places. Those things are gonna be brought very, very low, because it's gonna be hard times, and a lot of people are gonna be laid off. And it says the music. Can you read that last part one more time? If you don't mind.
All right, we'll go back to it real quick. All right, it's Ecclesiastes 12 and 4. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low.
That's right. So all the entertainment, all the fun and games, all that's gonna come to a halt, man. Along with, your jobs and everything else, man. All right. Then it's gonna start to be serious times, and that's why I stated in the first verse. See, the Lord. Remember the Lord. All right, in the days of thy youth.
That's right. We keep going.
Let's see.
I got a quote.
All right.
It's Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 5. It says, I'm going to start at 3. It says, Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Speaking to Esau, Edom. All right. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. In the book of I believe it's James, the 5th chapter, all right, goes into that rich man, which is speaking to Esau, Edom. But that rich man is a hoarder. He hoards up all the riches and he keeps it up for himself in these last days in order for him to ultimately usher in his agenda, usher in his NWO, all right, with his wisdom, his knowledge, his understanding. But all the avenues that he uses to keep this place afloat are being cut and severed, man. The economy, all right, the job market, the labor force, the oil, the gas, all his industries are being brought low. His music industry, all his industries are just uh being made to naught, man. And we're seeing it, and it's like the prophets are living in their own spirit, own mind, because we have the mind of the Lord to see these things. The rest of the people are just living in a matrix, man. But it says, verse 5, and there's the point I want to make. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. When you go into traffic, all right, you have these highways, these interstates, all right. What do they correlate between? Different cities, different towns, different states, interstate. And what do they ultimately lead to? Business flow and commerce. It's a definition. It's called interstate commerce. All right, which is basically the buying and selling between different states, man. That's what Esau works on imports, exports. But all those avenues are being brought to naught. Like the scriptures tell you in Revelation, how ye merchants look at her from afar off, seeing this place for what it really is, and howling, saying, man, we can't get any imports out of America anymore. We can't milk her for her riches anymore, man, because this place is all dried up. You got it, brother.
Hey, real quick to back you up, because speaking of what you just said about interstate travel, interstate commerce, a lot about how certain states buy certain particular things from other states that can be found in those states. I think I saw an article the other day where it spoke about how because of all the destruction that Hurricane Ian did to Florida, like the price of orange juice is going to go up, basically skyrocket because of all of those orange crops got damaged and whatnot. So that's an example of how interstate commerce is pretty much being brought to naught, as the brother was going into.
Mm-hmm. You have anything you want me to get up? You have one?
I just have an article.
All right.
Okay, going into how the grinding is getting ready to be put to cease. All right, put to a stop. Right now, this is off of CBSNews.com. Is the title of the article is "Layoffs Rising as the U.S. Economy Slows." Okay, and it says the first paragraph. It says more U.S. Companies are cutting jobs and freezing hiring as the economy cools. A sign that efforts by the Federal Reserve to tamp down inflation are hitting the labor market. Okay, and it's basically making reference to how the Federal Reserve last month, okay, basically raised up the interest rates up to like 3.25% or whatnot. And a lot of people, a lot of economists and whatnot speculated that once the Federal Reserve would make that move towards the rising interest rates even more, that the main thing that it would affect is the labor market. People getting laid off from their jobs. Okay, and of course, inflation going up even more. Okay, people's cost of living going up more. Okay, companies having to cut down on them paying their employees to a certain extent and whatnot. All of these things increase even more ever since the Federal Reserve raised up those interest rate hikes. Okay, it says layoff announcements spiked in September. Okay, last month, layoff announcements spiked in September, according to outplacement from Challenger, Gray, and Christmas. It says job cuts last month rose to nearly 30,000, an increase of 46% from August, while the number of companies announcing hiring plans last month fell to the lowest level in more than a decade, the firm said. Okay, yeah. So basically, this whole entire article is pretty much going into how the labor market, okay, and the job market and whatnot is getting ready to take a big hit. From this point on down, going to January 2023. Okay, it's going to lead to millions and millions of people being laid off from their jobs. Okay, which people are already struggling, financially right now, having to get thousands and thousands of $1,000 of credit card debt just to pay for food and gasoline and things like that. So hey, when people start getting cut from their jobs, along with basic necessities going up even more due to inflation, basically what it's going to lead to people going into civil unrest, right? Losing their minds.
Right. It's going to be a crashing from the hills because most of these people, they bank on their careers, they bank on their jobs. That's their plan A.
Yeah.
Our plan A through A again, because we don't have a plan B. This is our plan B. This is our plan C. This is our plan D. This is everything to us. So we are laboring to actually see something come into fruition, to actually see these things come to pass. We're not laboring and building a vain house. This is Psalms 127 and 1. It says, except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Except the Lord keep the city, the watchman waketh, but in vain. So you waking up early, you going to sleep late, you grinding, you laboring hard in the society, all right? Except the Lord be building your house or the Lord be dealing with you, you're doing all those things in vain. Except the Lord be with you when you're watching, because you got watchmen of the world. We're watchmen of the truth, but the spirit of Yahweh shot. You got different watchmen in the world. They watch the stock market. That's the main watchers. And they're going to be watching for this thing to go up, go down, inflate. They're looking to see how long does this place have left, because ultimately it's going to be one big crash. So they're watching hesitantly and diligently as well, giving that a diligent search, man. And we're giving this a diligent search, being mindful of the things that we see, man, acting according to that. But it says, it is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so he giveth his beloved sleep. You see? So it is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, man. So you ultimately on this rabbit race, man, just to make ends meet at the end of the day, and not have anything else, just to portray an image on social media, man. A lot of our people, Jakes, they love portraying somebody on social media, somebody that they're not. They love being having an alter ego, man, having different personalities, man, and manifesting in those personalities. You're not a reality anymore, man. You got it. That's it, bro.
Like a quick one right here. This is Ecclesiastes 5 and 10. It says, he that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver, nor he that loveth abundance with increase. This is also vanity. So all of these riches that you're working so hard for, breaking your back for, waking up in the early mornings for, is vanity, man. Because like they say, man, they're about to have a lot of job cuts, man. A lot of people are going to be without jobs. It means that they don't have any money, to do the things that they need to do, man. So, ultimately it's going to cause riots and uproars, people looting, leading up to, that Jacob's trouble, leading up to, martial law, Esau draconian laws, problem, reaction, solution, man. This is all this devil's plans, to try to fully implement that NWO.
I got a precept. You got it. This second Ezra, chapter 16, start at verse 40 and read down to 45. Second Ezra 16, verse 40, it says, "Oh my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle." Okay, the battle being what? Jacob's trouble, at the time of tribulation. All right, it says, "In those evils, be as pilgrims upon the earth." Because it's going to come a time where we're going to lose particular comforts. We may even lose our houses or our cars, okay, and things like that. Brothers are going to have to be moving around here and there to be able to survive and make it to the next day. But hey, we know ultimately that Lord willing, the Lord is going to be with us when those times come. Okay, it says verse 41: "He that selleth, let him be as he that fleeth away, and he that buy it as one that will lose. So, all you chicks out there, okay, and all you people really in general, but it's mainly you Israelites out there, all of you 2/3, okay, all the little things that you seek to gain right now, okay, as this world, this economy is in a recession. You need to begin your minds prepared to lose all these things, rather than keep gaining and keeping. Okay, but because it's all getting ready to come down to naught. All right, it says, verse 42, he that occupied merchandise as he that hath no profit by it, and he that buildeth as he that shall not dwell therein, he that soweth as if he should not reap. So also he that planteth the vineyard as he that shall not gather the grapes. Yes, all the things that you're working for right now. Okay, you're gonna lose it because hey, we're getting ready to come into the time of battle. This devil Esau Edom is getting ready to come down with great wrath. Okay, he's getting ready to wipe out the middle class. Okay, and take away your rights to own anything. All right, and buy and sell anything unless you have a particular device in you. Okay, it says, verse 44, they that marry as they that shall get no children. Okay, because we're not in the time of weddings and getting married and having children and all these things. That it's not the time for none of that. We're in the midst of a war right now. It says, and they that marry not as the widowers. All right, in verse 45, and therefore they that labor in vain.
Ultimately, we say ultimately it's saying you're here, but you're not here.
Yeah.
We wear these clothes, but we're not trusting in these clothes to save us. Mm-hmm. We go to work, but we're not trusting in our job for our salvation. We deal with women, but we're not relying on our relationship to get us into the kingdom of heaven. So that's always been the mindset of the prophets, man. Because we've always constantly been in a war. Either we've been in physical wars or we've been in spiritual wars within ourselves, man. That's what the scriptures speak of. So we know we have the toughest mindset on the planet, the most enduring personality characteristics on the planet Earth. We are those men that persevere through adversity. And that's the mindset what the brother just read. That's the mindset that we've always had. We've always been in captivities, but we're not of that captivity. That's the mystery of the scriptures. We've been in Babylon. We've been in Assyria. We've been in Ur. We've been on the other side of the flood, the river Euphrates, man. We've been in Syria, Canaan. We've been in different areas, been called different names, but the Spirit of the Lord reveals our mindset. It reveals who we truly are in our walk of faith. It's displaying for the whole entire earth to see right now, man. Just like they're going to see our great deliverance if we stay steadfast in this truth. But I got one after you, brother.
That was it.
All right. All right. This is just backing the brother up. This is Proverbs 13:11. Y'all brothers want to touch on it, just stop me as well. Proverbs 13:11, and I'm going to jump down. It says, wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished. You see, because Yahushua ultimately set that example and said, if my kingdom was of this world, then my servants will fight. That says it's a mouthful right there, man. That we're not to be of this world. We operate in this kingdom. We go to Walmart. We go up the road. We go to different places, pump gas, different areas. But we're not trusting in this system to save us. That's why we're able to move the way we move and no harm comes against us and the Lord be with us because our minds and our spirit is not of this world, man. Our spirit is of the heavens. So the heavens are guiding us in this world. This world is made simple unto us, man. The things of this world is made simple unto us, man. The complex things that Jake, 80, 90-year-old on your deathbed, you don't even come to the understanding, they're made plain unto us, man. That's the mercy of the Lord. So we can't take that for granted in these last seconds of time and try to sow riches in this kingdom. We got to sow it in the heavens, man. It says, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase. So we're gathering by labor. We're gathering up a few good men on the highways and byways. We keep that same cycle of motion that the Lord has put in place for us. And we're going to come into different seasons, like the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter says. You got a time and place for everything. You can get that out. We got a time and a place for everything. Time for things to be sown, things to be plucked up. But us being good watchmen, we know those times when we act according to it, we say, okay, well, this is the time where the Lord is sowing something right now. We see the Lord is doing something. Okay, now this is the time where the Lord is he's just derooting these false judgments in the earth, and we're seeing that, man. The Lord is uprooting this place, man. This place is coming unglued. But this is the point I want to make. I'm gonna jump down to 22. It says Proverbs 13 and 22, because the Lord says his servants are going to eat. So in this labor shortage, that's the point I want to make, in this labor shortage and this economic crashes, we're still going to be having plenty in that day. We're still going to be full in that day. Yes, we're going to go through adversity and trials, but the Lord is going to make us whole, man. In whatever situation that we're in, the Lord is going to take care of us, man. We have faith, man. Of a mustard seed. But it says, here's the point, verse 22, a good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just. So the wealth of these different, at least even these doomsday bunkers, man, who knows? We pilgrims on the earth, just an example of how the Lord works. Pilgrims on the earth, we come across a heavily stocked storage unit with number food and supplies, man. The Lord can do that, man. We just have to have faith in it. You got it, brother. Get that order. You got it. I'll read it for you. All right. It's an article from WashingtonPost.com. It says the job market is slowing, and this could just be the beginning. It says a robust job market that has defied expectations for years is showing more concrete signs of slowing. Companies' job postings have fallen sharply, layoffs are creeping up, and new data released Friday show that the United States job creation has slowed to its lowest level in nearly a year and a half.
Yeah, man, that's almost the time of what the last pandemic, man. So things are slowing down, all right, and that's gonna bring, as the scripture say, grinding shall cease, man. Lower jobs, and pretty much the uproar of people, and a great example of that is I believe it's the UK. A lot of the countries out there, they're protesting against their government, of high gas. The gas is going up, the price of living is going up, but the money that they have or the money that they go and work for at these jobs are not sufficient for them, to continue with their everyday day-to-day lives. All right. So this is Zechariah chapter 8, verse 9, and it says, "Thus said the Lord of hosts, let your hand be strong, ye that hear in these days these words by the mouth of the prophets." So the prophets are speaking, the words of prophecy, which were in the days that the foundation of the house of the Lord of the hosts was laid, that the temple might be built. For before these days there was no hire for man, nor any hire for beast, neither was there any place, any peace to him that went out or came in, because of their affliction. So these people are getting afflicted right now, man. All right, our people are getting afflicted. The other nations are getting afflicted. About what, man? These job cuts, man. It says, "For I will set all men, every one, against his neighbor," man. And that's what it's going to bring. It's going to bring division amongst people, all right? People are already divided, but when you go into Second Ezra, it says that, Second Ezra 15 chapter, it says, because of a lack of bread, all right, there's going to be much tribulation, so that's that's going in. Every neighbor against himself, man, because ultimately these people are going to go against each other, man, in that Jacob's trouble, all right, and that civil unrest. All right, that's it on that.
Right. That's more in the article. It says that uncertainty sent stocks tumbling on Friday as investors worried that the stronger labor report would lead to the Fed to continue aggressively raising interest rates. By late afternoon, the S&P 500 had fallen roughly 2.8%, while the Dow Jones Industrial Average was down more than 2%. The tech-heavy Nasdaq sank by 3.8%. I got a precept too. They just, and like you said, this is going into the stock market, but ultimately, the stock market is a major economic piece and historical piece in American history, man. All right, controlling the economy, forecasting, and it's all left-handed wizardry and witchcraft, man. All right, how these elites manipulate the different numbers, man. All right, inflating one way, giving one way, percentage down here, percentage down there. That's all manipulated by the elites, man. All right. It says the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. But this is Zephaniah 1:10. It says, and it shall come to pass in that day, said the Lord, that there shall be a noise of a cry from the fish gate. From the fish gate, when you go into fish gate, that's where the major commerce happens. All right, buying and trading, selling. All right, that's what those things take place in the fish gate. So that's likened on to the stock market. All right, because that's what determines how the economy is going to go and which way it's going to flow in, man. Is there going to be a labor shortage, a job shortage here, gas prices going up here, all right? Extra tax in here. Like when you go in the stores, man, tax be $1 something sometimes, man.
Oh yeah.
Like madness, bro. Like taxes raising up. It's just oppression, man. Wickedness. It says, and a howling from the second and a great crashing from the hills. The stock market, man. That's what things are leveled at, man. And like when you go into that graph, where was going to the scale, the levels on the display that of the stock market, man. And they actually look like hills. So it's going to be a crashing of the hills, man. The stock market is going to totally crash. This place is going to turn into what's the level after a third world country? It's going to be quadruple times worse than a third world country here, man. It's not going to be safe to do anything except move with caution. Move like your life depends on it. That's the next scene for this place here in America, man. You got that.
If I can say also, I just want to throw in there a good show to watch. It was a TV series, and if you can find it possibly on maybe on YouTube or the web, it's called The Colony, and actually it took place out here in New Orleans, where they did the basically they did the shoot the video whatnot, and they got people from different places, to what would happen in an apocalyptic situation, and they showed how kidnapping would happen, people invading other people's homes, how everything went from money in exchange to a bartering system. Oh, you have 5 pounds of potatoes. Oh, here's 5 pounds of flour. They went to that type of bartering system. And that's ultimately how things are going to go back. When the stock market crashes, man. Right?
Yeah. I got a quick word, real quick, because as you was reading the last bit that you was reading in that article, okay, you came across a certain word that we've been hearing often and often, okay, ever since the beginning of this pandemic, okay, in 2020, and that word being uncertain, uncertainty. Okay, now this is the definition of the word uncertainty, and this is off of Google. Definition number 1 says the state of being uncertain. Okay, pretty self-explanatory. But definition number 2, it says something that is uncertain or that causes one to feel uncertain. All right, and then when you go to the synonyms of the definition number 2, the first word among the list of synonyms, it says doubt. Okay, so the state of uncertainty means being in a state of doubt, and that and that's a spirit, because as of lately, brothers been doing videos going into how being in a state of doubt is basically a demon, and when that demon of doubt, as brothers like to coin it, okay, comes on you, from time to time, because hey, we're in the flesh. It's going to happen to it's going to happen to the best of us at time of from time to time. Hey, us being spiritual men, we have to immediately rebuke that demon, okay? Because here it is, this whole entire world and this whole entire country is under one big demon of doubt, okay, uncertainty, because people are seeing what's going on in the news, what's going on in the economy, what's going on in the other labor market, okay, what's going on, all right, as far as they're getting ready to get a shortage of food and resources and things like that. All right, and it's all going to lead to the state of perplexity, as Yahushua spoke of in Luke 21st chapter. But us, we as the hopeful elect of Yahweh Shai, the Lord, okay, we don't dwell, all right, in uncertainty or the spirit of doubt, because we know, according to the scriptures, that we have a more sure word of prophecy. Okay, we've been prophesying from our apostles and elders on down, okay, as well as the men that came before them. We've been prophesying about the things that we're, the times that we're in right now. Okay, and so, hey, being that we have this sure word of prophecy, we also understand, according to prophecy as well, that hey, when those times come, when things get real bad, that the Lord is going to be with us, that the Lord is going to provide us with plenty. Okay, when the famine hits, all right, and when Esau comes down with that great wrath, so hey, this world is ravaged by uncertainty, but not us, you know.
I got one back from you about
I got one after you.
All right, this is Deuteronomy 28, and I'm gonna start 65, and it says, among these nations shalt thou find no ease, neither shall the soil of thy foot have rest, but the Lord shall give thee a trembling heart and failing of eyes and sorrow of mind. That's what's coming to our people, man. All right, and thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and thou shalt none assurance of thy life. So people, when Jacob's trouble comes, they ain't gonna have no assurance of their life, because they live their life in pleasure, man. All right, they wandered out the ways of the Lord, man, and they're gonna know it. They're gonna know when all of these calamities come. And that's pretty much it.
I got a quote.
All right.
It's Isaiah 65 and 13. God, brothers. It says, therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. Behold, my servant shall sing for joy of heart, but ye shall cry for sorrow of heart, and shall howl for vexation of spirit. You see, and that ultimately, that vexation of spirit, all right, that howling, all right, that comes to those that are stuck in that uncertainty, man. All right, stuck in that mindset, that perplexed mindset, to not know that missiles are going to be shot from the ends of the world over here and destroy Babylon. Man. The whole time, everybody's serious. Jake is always playing, always coming in. You got everybody walking in the line, coming into the assembly. Everybody's serious. You get to the middle part, to the little back of the line. Jake just shucking and jiving. It never fails every time, man. That's like on to our people, man. All this hell is about to break loose, and still Jake is worried about on Go.com 6, 7 in the morning trying to get the next sneaker release, or trying to get the next jersey release, man. Like they got that viral jersey going on with that dude, his last name, Oyufe. So his jerseys are selling out. Jake just buying, just number wickedness, man. Just quick to wear that on him. Like, what's your purpose, man? That's why that judgment is going to come. And you're going to be howling, Jake. You're going to be joined in with 2/3 of the heathen nation, man. Starting with Esau, either, man. But it says, and ye shall leave your name for a curse unto my chosen, for the Lord Yahweh shall slay thee and call his servants by another name, that he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the power of truth, and he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the power of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes. You see? So ultimately, the Lord is going to set those in their place that have been running this race and this course, man. They're going to be given a reward, just like we see the reward of the wicked is you're going to lose your job. You're going to be out on the streets. You're going to be faced with reality that you didn't want to get faced with, and that you was running from this whole time, man. You can't hide from the Lord. We're embracing our reality, which is we're in a state of captivity. All right, our people are low vibration, and we got to get out of this place. We hasten onto that day, man. That's why we're gonna move like pilgrims in that day, because our mindset is it's not in this place, man. It's in the heavens. But you got it. That's it.
Yeah, because a pilgrim, a pilgrim in a time of trouble is not moving around looking for comfort. It's not necessarily looking, moving around looking for a place of rest. Okay, because as it tells you in Micah 2:10, depart, for this is not your rest. Basically, if you stay there, it's gonna, pollute you and destroy you. And that's what we as spiritual men, we have that mindset. We don't look for any continuing city here in America. Clearly we see Babylon is falling more and more every day. Okay, and it's gonna, here, and then you got countries like Russia, okay, making nuclear threats against America. Especially ever since that the sabotage of that Nord Stream 2 pipeline. Pretty much everybody around the world has a gut feeling that America was behind it. And so they, through all these things, we as a whole elect, our minds are stable, okay, because we know, the times that's getting ready to come. We know what all these things are going to lead up to. So hey, the wisdom and knowledge of Yahweh Shemashai is our stability that keeps us from the state of uncertainty. But hey, not so much these people in the world, right? Okay.
Yeah, I got one back. You look up.
Hey,
The definition. What time it is?
144.
Right.
The definition of pilgrim, real quick. It says pilgrim, a sojourner in a strange place, shows that the faithful. Hear this out. Shows that the faithful sought a heavenly city and did not consider themselves permanently attached to the earth.
Wow. And that's us. That's us as a men of the Lord. We don't look for any comfort or any pleasure in this place, because we're in the world, but we're not of the world. Okay, we're ultimately not looking for any rest until we reach that heavenly place, as the brothers brought out, which is what the kingdom of heaven. That's our rest right there. That's this ministry that we're part of. This is the work, the labor that we do to enter into that rest, as it goes into was that Hebrews 4? Yeah. So hey, we're the pilgrims on this earth right now. We're the ones that's moving about in the spirit, walking in the spirit. Okay, living by faith. Okay, and that's what keeps us going day by day. So basically, hey, the people of this world that don't have the Holy Spirit on them, hey, when shit is the fan, as they say, these people are going to be shit out of luck.
I got you up. This is all right. This is 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For Yahweh, Shalaki," it says, "For Yahweh have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love."
That's the one I was looking for. That's the spirit,
and of a sound mind. God, again, I'm reading again. This is 2 Timothy 1:7. It says, "For Yahweh have not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind, because knowledge and wisdom shall be the stability of that time and that time of day." All right, when all of these things are taking place on the earth. And it says, sound mind as well, is because we know that we've labored for this truth. And we know that what the Lord has not forgetting our works, man. Our labor is not in vain. So we're gonna have confidence that the Lord is gonna provide for us when we need it. And see, I got one more precept out here. This is Matthew 6:25. It says, "Wherefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. It is not the life of more than meat, and the body than raiment. Behold the fowls of the air, for they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into unto barns, yet the heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much more better than they? So, the animals, the beasts of the field, they get their daily nutrition, to sustain themselves from day to day. And how much are we not greater than them and the prophets that are doing the work of the Lord? All right, is he not gonna take care of us in those days where it's gonna be hard? You know,
Yeah.
it continues to say, jumping to 28, it says, "And why take ye thought for raiment? Consider the lilies of the field, how they grow; they toil not, neither do they spin." All right, it says, therefore, jumping to 31, it says, "Therefore take no thought, saying, what shall we eat, or what shall we drink? Nor wherewithal shall we be clothed?"
Right, because the Lord is the King of spirits, man. The Lord controls the blades of grass that move and flow, the way they flow back and forth. That's the Spirit of the Lord, man. He controls all those things. So the Lord can put those things in order and have the knowledge of those things way above our heads and his ways way above us. He definitely for sure can put us in our right order, in our right estate, and in our right position, man. We wait on the Lord. This is a faith-based thing, man. Like the apostles always say, this is faith-based. We have faith that our line goes back to the prophets. Yeah, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, man. We have faith, man. We like the scriptures like it read about the word pilgrim and went into not being attached to the earth, man. And you had those that didn't see the promised land, all right, but they sought for it, all right. They perished, saying, "Call Allah Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. In my flesh, I shall see the Most High, man." So that's faith, man. We have faith whether we be martyrs for the Lord or, all right, we get beamed up out of here, man. In the midst of all this hellfire, man, we have faith that we go back to that lineage, man. That this is our power. That the Lord is going to restore our nation and people, and that's what it's all about, man. The Lord restoring our nation because Yahushua died for the nation, man, of Israel. So he's going to come back and restore it, like the brother was getting into the Isaiah 9 and 6, man. All right, the Lord's going to put everything in its right estate. You got it, brother.
All right, continue on in verse 30. This is Matthew 6:32. It's the last verse. It says, "For after all these things do the Gentiles seek, for your heavenly Father knoweth that ye have need of all these things." So the heavenly Father knows that we need a place to sleep. He knows that we need clothes on our back. Right? He knows that we need to eat. And that day He's going to provide for those who provided the word to the whole world. All right. It says, "But seek ye first the kingdom of Yahweh and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." So in that day, seek the Lord. As the brother said, we are in the world, but not of the world. So seek the kingdom of heaven, and all these things that you would normally worry about in the world will be added unto you in that day. All right.
Right.
You got it out there.
You got it on mine.
Yeah,
I got some more articles.
yeah, me too. I got one that I'm about to read right here. All right.
You got it.
This is from CNBC.com. The title of the article is OPEC Plus to cut oil production by 2 million barrels per day to shore up prices, defying U.S. pressure. Okay, basically going into, your brother's been, keeping up with the news this past week. This past Wednesday, OPEC, okay, like the heads of OPEC and whatnot, had a meeting in, I believe, Vienna, Austria, if I'm not mistaken, where basically they agreed to, cut down oil production in the U.S. 2 million barrels less per day. Okay, it says OPEC and non-OPEC partners on Wednesday agreed to impose deep output cuts, seeking to spur a recovery in oil prices despite U.S. pressure to pump more. All right, it says crude prices have fallen to roughly $80 a barrel from more than $120 in early June amid growing fears the prospect of a global economic recession. All right, and I'm gonna go into the first two articles, first two paragraphs of this article. Then after that, I'm gonna get a precept. All right. So it says the first paragraph of this article. It says a group of some of the world's most powerful oil producers on Wednesday agreed to impose deep output cuts, seeking to spur recovery in crude prices, despite calls from the U.S. to pump more to help the global economy. It says OPEC and non-OPEC allies, a group often referred to as OPEC Plus, decided at their first face-to-face gathering in Vienna, all right, Vienna, Austria, since 2020 to reduce production by 2 million barrels of oil per day from November. Okay, so basically starting in November, which is next month, less than a month away, OPEC and these different, OPEC companies and these different oil companies, okay, are going to cut their oil production 2 million barrels a day. Okay, and ultimately that's going to lead to, a major hit in the economy of America, because basically when you look around this country, everything in some way, shape, or form operates off of oil and gas. All right, these are your cars, okay, these trucks, these are 18 wheelers that haul goods and merchandise to these different stores. Okay, trains, planes,
Generators.
right, generators, okay, engines, all these different things. And so once the oil field in this country takes a major hit, okay, takes a major hit, then everything else in this country is going to take a major hit. Food and merchandise will no longer make it to the stores. You want to say something?
Yep, and it's just it's gonna be a domino effect, and it's gonna turn these people to savages, man.
Yeah.
Because the average person in America is gonna go to McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell 3 times a day. Their mind is revolved around the Taco Bell specials, the Happy Meals, the deals, the 2 for $1, the 99 cents, the cheap eats, man. Esau has afforded you a cheap, burnt up way of life, man. A false pretense of everything. Just because it's good for you and you can easily access it, just because it's easily accessible doesn't mean it's good for you. Just because you can roll up in the, oh, hey, man, that looks like McDonald's. It's open right now. Wow, I can just go in and drive through and get whatever I want. That's the mindset of these Americans, man. Let me just eat whatever I want, do whatever I want. Oh, man, they got people walking around wearing female clothes and they're men, and they're just working these regular jobs. They're the face of the society. Well, I could do that. It's a wicked vibration that this place gives off, man. And we're not succumbing to it by any means, man. That's why we're moving the way we move, and that's why we're being watchmen to these things. But I got a precept after you are.
So basically laying back and off of the announcement from OPEC, to basically cut down oil production, is going to lead to a lot of layoffs, especially layoffs in the oil field industry and whatnot. Okay, pretty much once the oil and gas industry shuts down, okay, comes to a halt, it's going to lead to pretty much every other industry in this country shutting down. Okay, and people losing their jobs. And when that happens, all right, when there's going to be mass people losing their jobs and losing their sources of income, it's going to lead to this. All right, this is Job, because we know all these things are done, are being done systematically, okay, by the elite. Ultimately being done by Yahweh Shema Shai, but Yahweh Shema Shai is using the elites to make these things happen, okay, for them to try to establish their NWO agenda, but it's going to lead to this. This is the book of Job, chapter 20, verse 22. It says, "In the fullness of a sufficiency," all right, and what's going to be the fullness of Esau Edom's sufficiency is NWO agenda, all right, setting up the image of his beast system, okay, and of course the Charagma, okay, but when Esau Edom is going to seek to roll out all those things, right? It says, Job 20:22, "In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits." Okay, and why is he going to be in straits? It says, "Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him." And when you go, God, and when you look up this word wicked, All right, in the Hebrew, all right, is Strong's H6001. It says, I mal, and it says, laborer, sufferer, wretched one. Okay, laborer, workman, toiling. So basically, the hand of the wicked that is speaking of in that verse is talking about, these regular, everyday, working class Americans. Okay, these, especially these Edomite middle class Americans, the ones who get up, early every day, okay, helping to build this system up and can make it continue running. Okay, once a lot of these Edomites, okay, going to be losing their jobs left and right because they know that all these things are being done systematically. Hey, that's where that sedition is going to come in. Okay, where they're not going to regard their kings or princes, their politicians, and especially creepy Joe, it's especially the president. Okay, all of their hands, they're basically going to go on an all-out rebellion against their leaders, okay, and against this NWO agenda, all right, and, and these elites, okay, they systematically, they want all those things to happen because they know, they have a particular phrase that they coined within their Masonic agendas, order ab chaos, so they, they're doing these things to create the chaos that they need to establish their order. Okay, and they know that the number one uh, thing that they can do to create that chaos is take away people's livelihoods, take away their jobs, take away their sources of income, and ultimately take away their food. Okay, once all those things are taken away from the average person, it's gonna, once the average person loses all those things, they're gonna lose their minds, and and it's gonna lead to things like social unrest, okay, rioting, killings and murderings all across the streets, okay, and things like that. And that when those things happen, that's going to justify Esau Edom coming down with the martial law to bring back order to these streets. You know, so hey, all these things are being done systematically, all right, to ultimately bring down America, Babylon the Great. Okay, and bring forth end time prophecy. Y'all brothers got it.
You got it on the
I got one right here. This is Second Thessalonians 2:3. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes, who opposes and exalt himself above all that is called Yahweh, or that is worshipped, so that he so that he as God sitteth in the temple of Yahweh." So pretty much, you know, he's trying to get rid of all of these jobs so that the people will be relying on the system, man. All right, relying on that universal basic income.
Yeah,
You know,
the UBIs.
yeah, the UBIs, man. All right, so he wants the people reliant on the government, man. All right, that's the reason why he started off. In the pandemic, what did he give people? Stimulus checks, man. All right, he started giving them that to pacify them, to baby them, and to being dependent on the government. Oh, when the next check is gonna come out? When this is gonna come out? Getting them geared up for whenever they crash this dollar. They'll say, look, we can start everything over again. We can start this whole system over again, and we'll give you this money. You know, uh, we'll give you this money. Every month, so you'll be able to take care of the things that you need to take care of. But the crazy thing about that is that he's also trying to control what you buy, how much things that you use, how much gas you use, how much water you use. So this guy's really trying to be like the Most High, man.
Yep. That's right, bro. And ultimately, like the brother was saying, it said there should come a falling away first. And when was that falling away? It's talking about 70 AD. And around that time, you had the siege of Masada, you had famine, you had cannibalism going on. So we're getting ready to come into that time on steroids, man. The Book of Acts on steroids, 2.0, man. All right, so it's going to be even more famine, droughts, cannibalism. You're going to see worse things. Scripture says there's no other time like this time we're about to come into. But this is 2 Kings 6, and I'm going to start at 25. It says, "And it came to pass, when the 70th month was come in, It's going into a famine in Samaria, all right? And it's going to give an account of a woman and her son and just how grievous this famine got, man. It's Second Kings 6:25. And there was a great famine in Samaria, and behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for four score. What's a score? I can,
Uh, 20.
so four score is 80. So 80 pieces of silver and the fourth part of a calf of dove's dung for 5 pieces of silver. And as the king of Israel was passing by upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, Help, my lord, O king. And he said, If the Lord do not help thee, whence shall I help thee? Out of the barn floor or out of the winepress? And the king said unto her, What aileth thee? And she answered, This woman said unto me, Give thy son that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son. So she wanted to boil the lady's son now. We boiled my son. All right. It's a family going on. They resorted to cannibalism, eating their own, man. Eating the fruit of their womb, man. Eating their own children, man. That's how grievous it got. So just imagine, all right, when this economy crash and Jay can't get that 2-week paycheck to make it the car payments on his Lamborghini, man, or to make his mortgage payment or his boat payments, right? Or to go spend his whole check at the titty bar, man. Just fleshly things, man. It's gonna be an all-out pandemonium on these streets of America, man. But it says, so we bought my son and did eat him, and I said unto her on the next day, Give thy son, and we may eat him. And she had hid her son. So she hid her son, man. This foul act, even though you done bought this lady's son and you ate him, now the lady coming back for your son, you hiding your son, man. It's just nothing but madness, man. And that's what's gonna be like into the state of America. Nothing but confusion and madness in that day. And it said, and it came to pass when the king heard the words of the woman that he rent his clothes and he passed by upon the wall, and the people looked and behold, he had sackcloth within upon his flesh, man. And it's gonna get to those times right here in America, man. We have the kings and the princes of this society saying that this place is turning into a third world country, man. They're not regarding any municipalities, any sheriff departments, any mayors, all right? Any private investigators, you serving papers, you liable to get shot down, man. Jay don't want to deal with no bills, no anything, man. No warrants, no none of that, man. All that is going to be null and void soon, man. Like that purge law that's being implemented in Chicago in January, man. That's going to turn this place upside down, man. And we hope it gets implemented here, man. Or it gets worse here before then, man. But you got it. I got that article too.
I got one backing you up into that cannibalism, man.
You got it, brother.
All right, this is Leviticus 26 and 27. It says, And if ye will not for all this hearken unto me, but walk contrary unto me, then I will walk contrary unto you also in fury. And I, even I, will chasten you 7 times for your sins. And ye shall eat the flesh of your sons, and the flesh of your daughters shall ye eat. So that's the times that we're coming into where people are literally going to be cannibals, man. They ain't going to have no choice, but to, eat their, eat their kids, man. Eat their moms, their dads, Esau's pretty much is going to, like the brother said, 70 AD all over again, man. They're going to starve the people out, They're talking about a dark winter, talking about oil and gas being low. These are all purposely done, problem reaction solution, man, to get their solution, which is for y'all to go, to riot in the streets so they can implement their laws, man, on you.
That's right.
All right, you got it out.
Got that article. Let me get to start winding it down. It says Louisiana Attorney General says New Orleans is being run like a third world country. Article from Newsbreak app. Louisiana Attorney General says New Orleans is being run like a third world country. Attorney General Jeff Landry, a Republican, said that New Orleans, the largest city in his state, is being run like a third world country this week. He also said that the city's police department is underfunded and undermanned during his interview on Tucker Carlson tonight. The statistics are real, Landry told Carlson, adding that these are real people dying in the city of New Orleans. Indeed, a Wall Street Journal report published last month found that the city has the highest rate of homicides in the United States so far this year at around 41 per 100,000 people. According to the Metropolitan Crime Commission, nonprofit organization, the city's homicide rate has shot up by 141% since 2019. 141%, man. So we ultimately know Sodom